If you fell asleep outside in the Arctic, you wouldn't wake up. The cold would take over fast, freezing your skin within minutes and shutting down your body before you'd even have a chance to react. At -40 degrees Fahrenheit, -40 degrees Celsius, there's no room for mistakes. There are no trees for firewood, no natural shelters, and no way to escape the brutal wind. In these conditions, staying warm isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. But the Inuit have lived here for thousands of years. Not only have they managed to survive, but they've figured out ways to keep their homes warm without firewood, insulation, or any modern technology. In fact, an igloo, made entirely of snow, can be dozens of degrees warmer inside than the freezing air outside. It sounds impossible, but their methods work, and they still use them today. By using compacted snow, animal fat, and smart building techniques, the Inuit have turned one of the harshest environments on Earth into a place they can call home. Their knowledge of trapping heat, blocking out wind, and using every available resource has made them some of the best cold weather survival experts in history. So how do they keep their homes warm when everything around them is ice and snow? What tricks have they used for generations to survive in a place where even firewood is impossible to find? The answers might surprise you, and they reveal just how brilliantly the Inuit have adapted to one of the harshest places on Earth. If you're interested in more incredible stories about Inuit survival and culture, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. At first glance, an igloo doesn't look like it should work. It's made of snow, something we associate with cold, not warmth. But for centuries, the Inuit have used these dome-shaped shelters to survive the brutal Arctic winters, and they're far more advanced than they seem. The secret lies in the insulating power of snow. Unlike solid ice, packed snow contains tiny air pockets that trap heat. When an igloo is built correctly, it keeps cold air out and warm air in, acting almost like a natural thermos. The body heat of the people inside, combined with a small oil lamp, is enough to raise the temperature well above freezing, even when a blizzard is raging outside. The design of an igloo also plays a huge role in keeping it warm. The entrance is usually a small tunnel that slopes upward into the main chamber. This helps keep cold air from rushing in, since cold air is heavier than warm air. Inside, sleeping areas are raised higher than the floor, where the warmest air naturally rises. It's a simple but effective way to maximize every bit of heat. Building an igloo is no easy task. The snow has to be compacted just right. Too loose, and it won't hold its shape. Too solid, and it won't insulate well. Skilled builders can construct a strong, wind-resistant igloo in just a few hours, using only a snow knife to carve perfectly shaped blocks. Despite its effectiveness, the igloo isn't used as much today, with many Inuit now living in modern homes. However, it remains a symbol of Inuit ingenuity, and in emergencies, it's still one of the best shelters for surviving extreme cold. In a land where firewood is almost non-existent, the Inuit needed a different way to create heat. Their solution? The Qulliq, a traditional oil lamp that has been used for thousands of years. It may look simple, a carved stone dish filled with seal or whale oil, but this small flame was the heart of the home, providing light, warmth, and even a way to cook food. The Qulliq works by soaking a strip of moss or Arctic cotton in oil and lighting it along the edge of the dish. This creates a long, steady flame that can burn for hours, sometimes even days, with just a small amount of fuel. It may not be as hot as a modern fireplace, but in an enclosed space, like an igloo, it makes a huge difference. The warmth from the flame raises the temperature just enough to keep people comfortable, while also preventing frost from building up inside. More than just a practical tool, the Qulliq held deep cultural and spiritual meaning. Traditionally, it was the responsibility of women to tend to the lamp, making sure it stayed lit and burned evenly. In many Inuit communities, the Qulliq was seen as a symbol of life itself, a source of warmth, survival, and connection. Even as modern heating has spread to Inuit communities, the Qulliq is still used in ceremonies and gatherings. Some families even keep one as a reminder of their ancestors' resilience. It's proof that even in the coldest, harshest conditions, the Inuit found a way to create warmth from almost nothing. While igloos were excellent for temporary winter shelters, the Inuit also needed more permanent homes, something that could withstand the brutal cold but also provide comfort for longer stays. That's where the Qarmaq comes in. These semi-permanent homes were a mix of traditional Inuit design and natural materials, built to last through the harshest Arctic conditions. A Qarmaq was typically made using a combination of stone, sod, whalebone, and animal skins. The walls, often built from stacked rocks and covered with layers of earth and moss, acted as natural insulation, trapping heat inside. The roof was usually made from tightly stretched animal hides, which helped keep out wind and moisture. One of the smartest design features of a Qarmaq was its ability to absorb and retain heat. The thick walls prevented warmth from escaping too quickly, meaning a small heat source, like a Qulliq lamp or even just body heat, was enough to keep the interior warm. Compared to an igloo, a Qarmaq was more stable, making it ideal for long-term use. Many Inuit families lived in Qarmaqs during the transitional seasons, spring and fall, when conditions were too unstable for an igloo, but not yet warm enough for lighter summer shelters like tents. Some Qarmaqs even had separate sleeping areas, with raised platforms covered in furs to keep people warm at night. While modern housing is now common, some Inuit still use Qarmaqs for seasonal living and cultural traditions. Today, they serve as a reminder of how well the Inuit adapted to their environment, using whatever materials were available to build homes that worked perfectly for Arctic life. While traditional Inuit homes like igloos and Qarmaqs were remarkably effective at trapping heat, modern Inuit communities have largely transitioned to permanent housing, similar to what you'd find in the rest of the world. However, heating a house in the Arctic isn't as simple as just turning up the thermostat. Keeping a home warm in extreme cold comes with unique challenges. Most Inuit homes today rely on fuel-based heating systems, such as oil or propane furnaces, since firewood is scarce in the treeless Arctic. Some communities also use wood-burning stoves, but these require imported firewood, which can be expensive and difficult to transport. Electric heating is an option in some places, but energy costs in remote Arctic villages are incredibly high, making it an impractical choice for many families. One major issue with modern homes in the Arctic is that they lose heat faster than traditional Inuit structures. Another challenge in Arctic housing is permafrost, which can shift foundations and impact insulation, making heat retention even more difficult. That means people often have to rely heavily on heating systems to stay warm, leading to high energy consumption. To combat this, some architects and engineers have started designing energy-efficient homes specifically for Arctic conditions. These homes use thicker insulation, triple-glazed windows, and advanced ventilation systems to keep the heat inside while reducing the need for expensive fuel. Some Inuit communities are even exploring alternative energy sources like wind and solar power to reduce their dependence on costly imported fuel. Even though heating technology has changed, the Inuit still rely on traditional knowledge to stay warm, blocking drafts, using layered clothing, and arranging living spaces to make the most of natural heat sources. The Arctic may be freezing, but Inuit homes continue to evolve to meet its challenges. Keeping a home warm in the Arctic isn't just about comfort, it's about making sure heating methods are efficient and sustainable. In many Inuit communities, heating costs are extremely high because fuel has to be transported from hundreds or even thousands of miles away. As a result, people are looking for new ways to reduce energy use and find more reliable heating options. One of the biggest challenges with modern housing in the Arctic is heat loss. Many homes built in the past weren't designed for such extreme conditions, leading to high fuel consumption. To fix this, newer homes now use better insulation, airtight construction, and heat recovery ventilation systems to trap warmth and keep homes comfortable with less energy. Some communities are also turning to alternative energy sources to power their heating systems. Wind and solar energy are being tested in certain areas, providing a way to generate heat without relying so much on imported fuel. However, since Arctic winters bring long periods of darkness and extreme weather, these systems still need backup options. There's also a push to blend modern technology with traditional Inuit knowledge. Many people still use simple but effective techniques, like covering windows with thick curtains to block out the cold, sealing cracks to prevent drafts, and using raised sleeping platforms to stay warm at night. While technology is helping improve heating efficiency, self-sufficiency remains key. The Inuit have always adapted to their harsh environment, and today, they continue to find smart, sustainable ways to keep their homes warm without wasting resources. Surviving in the Arctic has never been easy, but the Inuit have turned one of the harshest environments on Earth into a livable home. Their ability to stay warm without firewood, modern insulation, or abundant fuel is a testament to their deep knowledge of the land and their incredible ingenuity. For centuries, igloos, Qulliq lamps, and Qarmaqs provided warmth in ways that defied logic, using the insulating power of snow and the energy stored in animal fat. Today, modern heating systems have become more common, but the same principles of heat conservation and efficiency remain just as important. As heating costs rise and climate conditions shift, the Inuit continue to adapt, blending new technology with traditional wisdom to keep their homes warm while minimizing waste. Their story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the smartest solutions come not from advanced technology, but from understanding and working with nature. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Arctic survival, don't forget to subscribe and like for more Inuit content, and leave a comment below. What surprised you the most about Inuit home heating methods?